Ice up. Ice what?
Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, poke it out, poke it out.
What's up, everybody? Sorry if it looks like I got hit by a truck and I mess up a little bit today. I'm pretty tired. It's break and I woke up at 7 a.m. Yeah, right, 7 a.m. That's crazy, but it wouldn't have been bad if it was like a normal day because I go to school at, I wake up at 6 all the time. But this was different because I woke up on a Monday, which was on break, and I was like, yo. But I went and waited in line for 3.5 hours, but it was all worth it. So the MWR on Fort Benning, the commissary, the ticket exchange center on Fort Benning, the first 50 people that showed up got 2 free tickets per person to the Saints vs. Falcons game in Atlanta. They're a little bit nosebleedy, but I mean, come on. Can you really complain about free tickets to a game, especially when you're one of the people that just can't go and buy tickets to a game because they want to, especially with it being Thanksgiving, and the excuse is, dude, it's free. We can't miss this. So come on. It was perfect for me. The seats are not the best, but I really am not going to complain. I just want to see my Saints win, and hopefully we can get it done. But we have some things to talk about today. It is Thanksgiving week, and it's a short week, so that means that today's going to be a little bit quick, or this week's going to be a little bit quick-paced for me. We're going to have daily uploads throughout the entire week. It's going to be fairly interesting. If you want anything specific, comment down below. When do you want the predictions to come out? When do you want the matchups to watch to come out? Do you want Predicted by Madden to be wiped out this week? Do you want to hype up at some point? Let me know. I need your guys' feedback because it fuels me more than anything. With all of that being said, so excited to go to this game on Thursday. That's 2 games within the last 3 weeks that I'm going to be attending. Absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and talk about the state of the Saints heading into, well, first of all, because I have I don't even understand why I exist anymore. I forgot to change this. So let's go ahead and change it heading into week 13. So let's get that out of the way. My fault, boys. But let's go ahead and talk about the state of the Saints heading into week 13. So the first thing I'd like to talk about, it was a segment that I introduced on the last State of the Saints episode, is the game ball. Who do I think deserves the game ball? So let's go ahead and get through some of my honorable mentions, because I'm going to start doing honorable mentions now because it's only fair to the rest of the team. So Michael Thomas had 10 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. He is the first honorable mention. Michael Thomas played amazing. He had a 14 reception on the second play of our game-winning drive, taking the Saints out of a deadly second and long situation. He then caught the ball and he caught it 24 yards out and put the Saints into Will Lutz's field goal range, which then got pretty much capped off by Alvin Kamara and Will Lutz as a duo. The next honorable mention I would like to introduce is Jared Cook. Jared Cook finally gave us what we paid for in the past couple of weeks. He's been playing absolutely outstanding. He seems to be one of Drew Brees' favorite targets other than Michael Thomas. He has had a touchdown in 4 of the last 5 games. He has been playing absolutely fantastic, and it makes me so happy to see that because we were all juicing this dude up all offseason. He was the number 1 target. If you go back to my offseason videos and you look at the top tight ends the Saints could target, Jared Cook was number 1, and I said he was unrealistic, but we ended up getting him. Like I said, Jared Cook had 6 receptions, 99 yards, and a touchdown. He would have had a very more large statistical day if he didn't have a 42-yard reception taken away because of a phantom pass interference call. That's something I need to get rid of, is my stuttering, but it's okay. We're going to get through it together, boys. So let's move on to the next honorable mention, which is Will Lutz. Oh, you're Nos. How are you not going to give Will Lutz the game ball? He drilled the game winner. Well, listen to this. So Will Lutz kicked the game-winning 33-yard field goal, of course. That was his 32nd straight successful field goal inside of 40 yards. Will Lutz is 24 out of 25 in the 4th quarter. He's clutch and he's automatic. The only player more clutch on this team is the 40-year-old legend who is the winner of the game ball today, Drew Brees. Now, you might say, okay, that's a little bit cliche. You're cliche. Drew Brees deserves it. He played a fantastic game. And, of course, I'm not going to give it to Drew Brees every week because he always has monster games. But this was something special. This was some Saints versus Texans week 1 type deal. Okay, Drew Brees tied at 31, getting the ball back on his own 20 with 1 minute and 56 seconds left to play with 1 timeout, 10 plays, 6 passes, 62 yards later. Drew Brees put the New Orleans Saints in perfect position for a Will Lutz game winner. He played phenomenal. Drew Brees, 30 for 39, extremely accurate, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick on a desperation throw that was pretty much a punt. The dude has ice in his veins. Drew Brees is the most clutch quarterback in the league. I don't want to hear about no Aaron Rodgers with his lucky Hail Marys. Drew Brees is the most composed quarterback as far as driving down the field and putting points up when he needs it. He's been absolutely phenomenal all year. I cannot stress that enough. Drew Brees, it showed why he's a legend, showed why he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's edging close, breaking records every day. This dude is absolutely phenomenal. Drew Brees definitely deserved the game ball. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about isn't a positive thing about the team. It's something actually very negative, and that is the injury that we sustained on the offensive line. Yet again, the offensive line keeps getting banged up. Teron Armstead with his yearly injury. This dude gets hurt every year, and Teron Armstead's an all-pro, Pro Bowler, one of the best left tackles in the league, but he got hurt, and he gets hurt every single year, and I don't know why. Every year. Teron Armstead, the Pro Bowler, is considered week to week with a high ankle sprain. Why in God's name do the New Orleans Saints keep getting ankle injuries? Alvin Kamara, ankle injury, missed 2 games. Jared Cook, ankle injury, missed 2 games. Teron Armstead now, ankle injury is week to week. I cannot stand these injuries. They're preventable and they're stupid. He is already ruled out of Thursday's game versus the Atlanta Falcons, of course, as that comes with a week-to-week title. We do not have a status on Marshawn Lattimore yet, but as soon as I get that, I will announce it to you guys. Left guard Andreas P. is still on pace to miss 4 more weeks with a broken arm. He got surgery on that broken arm to repair it. So the New Orleans Saints offensive line is extremely depleted, but it seems that we have some serviceable backups. The replacements for Teron Armstead and Andreas Pete, one, Patrick Omameh and Nick Easton. I always mess up Omameh's name. I really hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, I apologize. But the dude's played more snaps on special teams than he has on the offensive line this year, so I can't really give myself a beating for that one. Patrick Omameh came into the game for an injured all-pro left tackle and didn't skip a beat. He played well. Hopefully he can hold that up and play well against an Atlanta Falcons defensive line that had 6 sacks against the New Orleans Saints just a few weeks ago. Patrick Omameh has only allowed 1 sack on 70 snaps, 70 offensive line snaps. Now you might say he's allowed a sack, but on 70 snaps from a backup that played more on the on the special teams than the offensive line this year, like 1 sack on 70 snaps is a godsend. He played great. It's like as soon as Teron Armstead, the offense didn't skip a beat. There were a few plays where Patrick Omameh got beat, but I feel like that can be coached out of him. I feel like he's going to be ready for this matchup against the Atlanta Falcons, and hopefully Teron Armstead can be healthy for his date with Nick Bosa against the San Francisco 49ers in Week 14. But until then, Patrick Omameh has been serviceable. He did play a very subtle, complete game against the Carolina Panthers. He was holding his end, which was very nice to see. Hopefully he could continue that against, like I said, 6 sacks. Atlanta, they did get beat by the Buccaneers at home just yesterday, but it's still something to look at. So Patrick Omameh and Nick Easton are the new step-ins for these injuries. Of course, you have Ethan Greenidge that can, maybe be considered for a spot, but he's been a healthy scratch a majority of the year, no matter what. So I don't really think that's going to happen. But if it does, I'm an idiot. Color me stupid. But yeah, Very, 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 very bad offensive line injuries. We cannot afford to be depleted like this heading into the playoffs, of course. So hopefully the New Orleans Saints can bounce back from these injuries. Patrick Omameh and Nick Easton hold down the fort. Nick Easton, you've been doing great, but let's go on to the next point. So the next thing I'd like to talk about, I'm still stressed. I am still stressed. Why do we not run the ball more? And some people may be saying, hey, Nos, we ran the ball 18 times yesterday. We ran the ball 18 times using a dual threat running back duo. Why are we running the ball only 18 times? Christian McCaffrey alone had more carries than Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara did combined. Of course, Drew Brees was on a hot streak, but did you guys see what was happening? The New Orleans Saints were scoring fast, getting Carolina's defense off the field, putting our defense back on the field, tiring our defense out, and allowing Carolina to score. We have to run the ball, control the clock. Time of possession is a big deal. Why does Sean Payton not realize this? Where is the confusion coming from? We were scoring easily yesterday, which is why our defense struggled so much. The defense was on the field all game. We cannot score quickly. The same principle with forcing or getting 3 and outs forced on our offense applies with scoring fast. Of course, you will take the big chunk play whenever you can. You will take the 50-yard bomb touchdown whenever you can. But you cannot take fast scores all game. That is how shootouts happen. That is how that's why we didn't put the Carolina Panthers away early, because our defense was gassed. Run the ball. Alvin Kamara, the last 3 games versus the Panthers, 11 carries, 54 yards. At the Bucks, 13 carries, 75 yards. Versus the Falcons, 4 carries, 24 yards. We need to run the ball more. Latavius Murray's last 3 games. Versus the Panthers, 7 attempts, 64 yards. At the Buccaneers, 10 attempts, 27 yards. Versus the Falcons, 5 attempts, 12 yards. We have 2 fantastic starting running backs. Why in God's name do we not run the ball more? I don't like it. That's the reason we almost lost yesterday. Sean Payton, run the ball. You have so much offensive talent in the backfield. Run it. Please. So many of these games would be blowouts if you just don't abandon the run. Please. Of course, he went into halftime saying he was going to get Kamara more involved. Kamara went on to have 10 receptions. That's not what we want. Of course, you can throw him the ball whenever you want. Let him run. He's a running back, not a receiver. He is someone that can take time off the clock, win us the time of possession battle, and eventually the game. Run the ball more. It pisses me off. Now, we got to shift focus to the NFC standings, and now this picture finally makes sense with the New Orleans Saints being 2nd seed and the San Francisco 49ers being 1st seed. Now, the Green Bay Packers got absolutely embarrassed last night. They got blown out 37-8. I definitely didn't see that coming, but it's better for the New Orleans Saints that the San Francisco 49ers won, because the New Orleans Saints face the San Francisco 49ers in Week 14 and control their own destiny, while the Green Bay Packers have a very easy schedule on the way out, consisting of, let me read you guys this schedule real quick, because it's downright ridiculous. Let me look it up. The Packers schedule. So the Packers schedule consists of the Giants, Redskins, Bears, Vikings, and Lions. They play subpar teams for the rest of the year aside from Minnesota, so it's good that they lost. We control our own destiny here. The 49ers are 10-1 in the 1st seed. They just beat the Packers 37-8. The New Orleans Saints are 9-2 at the 2nd seed. They just beat the Panthers 34-31. And the Green Bay Packers are 3rd seed at 8-3. They just lost to the 49ers 8-37. So the 49ers travel to Baltimore to play the hot Ravens. They're probably going to lose that game. The Saints play at the Falcons. We should win this game if we want good seeding. And the Packers play at the Giants, and the Saints, of course, meet the San Francisco 49ers. Got a date with them Week 14. We control our own destiny. Come on, Saints. Let's go get it done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you stopping by and watching this video. If you have any suggestions or ways the schedule should go, definitely comment them down below, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Adios.
Ballin' like Barkley, wrist so sparkly, internet surfing, feel like I caught